Hey, gorgeous. Welcome to Season 2 of the Hormone P.U.Z.Z.L.E Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Kayla Smith, CEO of the Hormone P.U.Z.L.E Society, a women's health hub for fertility, hormones, and the business of coaching, creator of the Hormone P.U.Z.L.E method, an infertility warrior, two-time boy mom, and women's health expert. This podcast is for women struggling with infertility, painful periods, terrible PMS, or really just any symptom of hormone imbalance that they are ready to eliminate for good. Tune in weekly as we interview amazing experts in the fields of women's health, breaking down those hormone walls, nerding out on nutrition, and having way too much fun. Whether you're beginning your journey or you've been struggling for years, we're going to finally help you put those pieces of your hormone puzzle back together so that you can get pregnant and eliminate those pesky symptoms for good. Are you ready? This season is packed with even more expert guests sharing groundbreaking knowledge, giving you that jolt of energy that you so desperately need, sending you lots of virtual hugs, and inspiring you to take your fertility into your own hands and make that baby. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now let's get started on your road to transformation. I'm so excited to welcome today's guest, Sylvia Kang. She's the founder and CEO of Mira Fertility. Mira is the first FDA and CE registered comprehensive women's health monitoring platform with 99% of accuracy in clinical trials. Mira allows users to see the numeric fertility hormone concentrations and uses AI learning to provide personalized insights based on quantitative data. Mira tracks cycles, predicts ovulation at home, with expandability into monitoring fetal health, measuring ovarian reserve, and detecting menopause, chronic disease using the hospital levelized technology within a palm-sized device. The data automatically syncs with the Mira app. The AI learns the personal health patterns. Sylvia has significant general management background. Before she started Mira, she was on a business director role in a Fortune 500 life science company running a $100 million global business. Sylvia holds an MBA from Cornell University and an MS in biomedical engineering from Columbia University. Sylvia is also a concert pianist. She has won multiple international piano competitions in France, China, and Hong Kong. For being a listener of the show, Mira is gifting my audience 25% off their products. You can claim this offer by going to www.mira.com and using Coach Kayla as the keyword. Now let's welcome Sylvia to the show. Hey, Sylvia. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kayla. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
Yes. So tell us a little bit more about you and about, kind of how you got here.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Sylvia. I'm the CEO and the co-founder for Mira. So Mira is the fertility tracker, and we track your actual fertility hormone concentration. So numerical hormone concentration at home. So instead of going to the lab and, you test on your blood, on your hormone level, and now you can get the hormone number at home, and then on the app, it's going to do analysis for you, going to do interpretation for you. So this is really helpful for people who are trying to conceive or trying to avoid pregnancy. And because we know that a lot of our users or, women in general, they have trouble to understand exactly what's going on with our body because, we change so much. And also a lot of times, we have hormone imbalances, we have stress levels, and we have PCOS, we have all these conditions. So for my background, I have a combination of engineering and also management experience in the past. So I graduated from Columbia University in biomedical engineering, and then I also did an MBA from Cornell. And then after that, I was working in a really big corporate as a business director. So I was running about $100 million of P&L for a business. So from there, I saw how the business was running, and I saw, how we can really transfer a technology to help people. And then also at the same time, I realized that, I have so many girlfriends who are just like my profile. They tend to focus a lot on their education and also, on their career development, and they tend to delay the maternal age. However, our body doesn't really, wait for that, right? So then, when they start to conceive, I have a really close girlfriend, and she didn't try to conceive until I think she was 36, and she couldn't really get any results after a while. So that was really painful because we never thought about this. We were always thinking about how to avoid the pregnancy in our entire life. And then we think it's just going to happen by itself. However, it didn't. So she went to see doctors. She went even for some, the tests and some treatments, and just couldn't really identify where the problems are at. So, this situation is actually called unexplained infertility. About 25% of family has this problem. You just, are not really sick, but doctor will tell you, say, oh, you're just not lucky. So, and eventually she has to go through IUI. So luckily, her son is about 3 years old already. So that's good. But, IUI is also a painful process. And also you have to spend money on that. And then, so then I was thinking that, maybe there's something we could do to help this, woman just like us. So we can support our lifestyle or career choice or, life events, decisions much better. Then I was thinking with my background from a, combination of the medical or the science area and also business. So maybe we can do something really easy for consumer, for women to use, which will have to be a home testing because hormone is continuous, right? So you don't look at one day's number, which can fluctuate. So it's hard to understand, but you look at the overall trend, you look at the curve, the pattern, comparison with this last cycle, comparison with other women, things like those, to really understand what's going on. So it has to be really convenient, has to be understandable for general consumer, not designed for doctors only. So that's why we came out with Mira. Our goal is really just to, help women like us. I know we suffer through, a lot of life events in our life, and we have hard decision to make about, when to have baby. Even others will be like disease related, the hormone imbalances. PCOS affects a lot of population in the world. So, with all these conditions, complications, we should have a better understanding about ourselves. So it's basically like empowering ourselves. So that's where we started.
I love that. And so what made you develop Mira? Did you have your own story with infertility, or was it just from seeing your friends kind of going through this?
Yeah, so it's mostly from seeing my friends, and it's not just the one friend. There are multiple of them have this issue in general because, just from my background, I have so many friends. They tend to have baby after 35 years old. Some are like a 36, 37, 40. And then this is like a really complicated journey. Not only just like if your body is still ready to do that, it's more like there are other social pressures too. So their family will give them pressure. Their doctor will say, oh, above 35 years old is really tough. But the science will tell you that it may not be that situation because 35 years old is not just like a cutoff. And it doesn't happen, right? It's not like a magical point. However, to really know what's going on, to make the best decision, you just have to, really get some data out from yourself. So based on your own situation, not based on whatever the textbook is saying. But, we just feel like this this process was really complicated. It's convoluting. It's confusing for the consumer, costing money, cost a lot of unnecessary stress in treatments or cost. So that's why, we think it should be, the fertility education should be more upfront, and the data should be easier accessed by the, women in general, easily understandable by women in general. And also when they go through the process, they can have some data to back their decisions. Like say, okay, today is a time we just cannot wait, or, I want to have 2 kids in my life. So I need to, basically work backwards, what is the age I have to start with this. And when they go through the journey, it shouldn't be that much guesswork. We see so much guesswork because we don't know what's going on. It's just unlucky. But what does unlucky mean? A lot of times we'll, if you Google online or even go to some doctors, they will tell you that. So in general, we think this whole process should be less stress, less confusion, less guesswork, and we should use some science, use some data to power our decisions, so we'll feel better.
I love that. And I'm all about the data, looking at what's going on with your body. And just because you're 35, like you said, it's not just this, okay, I'm 35 today, it's completely cut off. That's not true. I mean, I had my last at 40, so it definitely can happen. So don't listen to your doctor. If they're telling you can't get pregnant and you're 35 plus, it's just not true. So I love that. So talk to me a little bit more about some practical tips. I know you guys are a lot about education. So what are some practical tips if some of our hormones might be off that we could do holistically to kind of balance things out? Like, is there a few, 3 things you kind of say or go-tos to start first?
Yeah, sure. So we would say the first thing is really to understand what is really off and what is the cause of that. We know sometimes it's hard to do, but we have multiple hormones, and those hormones going into curves every month. So it's hard to tell exactly, say, oh, your hormone off, but what does it mean, right? So certain hormones such as LH hormone, so that is a hormone that will trigger ovulation directly. So if you have a problem with LH surge, so that means LH doesn't go up when it's supposed to, ovulation may not happen. So that's a problem with how do we get more LH, or how do we get the ovulation to happen if we don't have an egg? Because there's no way to get conceived.
Right.
And however, if we have some other, hormones such as estrogen, it will control the ovulation, but also it's a good indicator for a lot of other problems, such as even your fertility level and your if you have a hormone imbalances, if you have PCOS condition, all these things actually associated with that. Even later in the life stage, maybe close to related to menopause and related to cancer, those indirectly related to those. So those are different stories. So I think the first thing to understand is when we say, oh, hormones out of the place, so what do we really mean? So obviously Mira can help you track that at home, and traditionally you can go to the lab, a doctor prescribe and go to the lab to test those hormone levels. So each of them has their own meaning, and also some of their ratio will help you to understand if you have a problem for that. And I think the second suggestion is once we know what happened with the hormone, and then the plan will be different. If you have a PCOS, hormone imbalances, there's a lot of other tricks in there. You can exercise. If you're overweight, you can control your weight. I know it's hard, but has been approved by science. That's very closely related with hormone imbalances. And also stress in general is an issue when it comes to fertility as well. The more we worry about that, the more stress we have, and it's actually harder to get pregnant. Right. I know it's hard to do, but there are other, fertility coaching services, and also, meditation may help as well. There's a lot of other things to help as well. And then the last thing I think is really to, get back to a healthier lifestyle. I think for now we're so much stress in life. We're busy with a lot of things, with our family, with our work, and now it's COVID time, so people are stressed out. But just back to those fundamental things. So, for example, sleep is very important. So it will heal your body, it will put the hormone back into place, and also your diet. If you eating enough, the good fat, not the processed food, and enough fiber, enough vitamin. So those will actually help with PCOS condition as well. And exercise is also important too. That will help with PCOS condition, and that will help your body to be back into balance. So, those fundamental things, just try to have a healthier lifestyle if you're trying to conceive in general. It doesn't matter if you have a problem with that or not. I think that will definitely help as well. So basically, I think the suggestion sounds pretty maybe trivial, but I would say number one is really to understand what's going on with your body, understand if we have any issue that needs treatment or what's the root cause for that, and then try to target those and try to live with a better lifestyle with a relaxed mindset.
I love that. And I think they sound very fundamental, but they're great reminders of these are the things that we need to be doing to balance our hormones, to boost our fertility. It's a great reminder. So thank you for that. So talk to me a little bit more about Mira and exactly how does it work? So if somebody goes to your website, they order a kit, kind of walk us through from there, like what do they get? How do they use it? All of that.
Yeah, sure. So Mira basically tracks your hormone in the urine. So when you purchase Mira, it will be there is an analyzer, and there's also a series of test ones. So test ones are disposable. So the usage is really easy. So just sample the test one in your urine and insert this test one into the Mira analyzer, and that will read your hormone number. So it will be numerical hormone number, and this number will be displaying and analyzed and also interpreted, personalized interpreted on the app. Okay. So then it will, you can compare with your last cycle, and the app will give you tips about, what does this mean, what you should do. It's more like, very action driven and related educational content as well. So it's really easy to use, but the good thing is we test multiple hormones right now. So we not only test your LH hormone, but we also test estrogen and LH at the same time. It's a new product we recently just launched. So we are the only product on the market that can test both hormones numerically, basically, that you can get. So this is really important because a lot of these implementations can be found through the ratio of those two hormones, right? So everyone's different, has a different pattern. But for example, what is really your fertile window? Do you tend to ovulate earlier or later than average people? Many people find that's actually an issue, and that's why they don't get conceived after a while, because they have a different timing of ovulation. And also if you have hormone imbalances in place, or your estrogen level is too low or too high, or you're close to, that means maybe you're close to menopause or the ovarian function, some concern about that. So those can be told from those hormone levels as well. So in general, you can consider it as a urine test, but it will give you more like lab tested results, more like that. And also the algorithm will tell you what to do with that.
Hey y'all, it's Coach Kayla here. I hope you are loving this episode as much as I am. We will be back in just a minute, but first, a word from our sponsors. Today's sponsor of the Hormone P.U.Z.Z.L.E Podcast is Mira Fertility. How does Mira help track ovulation? Unlike other fertility trackers, Mira measures actual fertility hormone concentrations with 99% accuracy. By tracking your unique hormone levels throughout your cycle, Mira learns your cycle to personalize your ovulation prediction. Because Mira analyzes your actual hormone levels, it gives accurate insights on fertility windows for those with irregular cycles or PCOS. Mira's app synchronizes automatically and eliminates manual charting. In addition to LH and estrogen hormones, Mira is the next step in women's tracking and analysis. Designed to be expandable, the Mira system will offer more at-home health tracking in the future. Mira will measure multiple women's hormones, such as progesterone, FSH, HCG, all with the current analyzer. Mira will help you to achieve your pregnancy goals, regardless if that's trying to conceive, learning your cycle, or trying to avoid. Order Mira Starter Kit or Mira Plus Starter Kit online at miracare.com with promo code Coach Kayla and get $25 off. Mira Analyzer and app take the guesswork and stress out of ovulation tracking. So don't forget to order yours today and use my exclusive code, Coach Kayla. I love that. And it's so crazy that you say that because I have some clients come to me and we realize they are timing their intercourse incorrectly. And that's the whole reason why they're not getting pregnant. So just knowing when you're around ovulation, when you're on top of ovulation, I mean, that could be the piece that helps you get pregnant that month. So that's so very important.
Exactly. So that, again, that sounds very fundamental, but that's actually true. I think I read a paper somewhere saying 50% of the couple who are trying to conceive are not really trying to conceive at the right time.
Oh my goodness.
So if you have a problem with your fertility, maybe, if you guys are both healthy, and then maybe just a bad timing.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. I laugh about this because when I was struggling with infertility, my doctor never talked to me about this. Are you timing your intercourse? Do you know if you're ovulating? Do you, are you tracking your cycle? None of it. And we're not taught this in school. I don't understand why they don't teach us this when we're, preteens and learning about our periods, but they just don't. So very important to know now. So.
Yeah, so that's why I think it's really important to, for a company like Mira and also for podcasts like, Hormone Puzzle, I think we're doing a really important thing because we definitely need to raise awareness and provide more accessible content and education to women in general. I think we, in high school, the only thing taught is probably, trying to avoid pregnancy. We think pregnancy is really bad. We just have to try all the way to make it not happen. But there's so much more than that, right? So, after this, 10 years, 20 years, there's so much more than that. So we definitely, need more, just like a podcast like this and other female company or women's health company, like Mira and like other companies to raise awareness and bring more technology tools that really help with ourselves in general.
I love that. And I completely agree. Yes. So talk to me a little more too, about the education that you guys provide as far as when, somebody does a test, will they know how to read the results? And are you guys pretty good about educating on what the results even mean?
Sure. Yeah. So that's actually our goal. If you do a test, you don't understand what that means, it's basically not going to help. You still have to go back to the doctors, which is not possible to do every day. So with Mira, the number one, you got you got your test results, which is results like a fertility hormone concentration. And at the same time, it will give you a much more clear interpretation about what does it mean? So for example, it means you have X% chance to conceive today, or you're at your non-fertile window, or you're about how many days not to your next fertile window, or you just ovulated. So if you're trying to conceive, if you have, this is your best timing right now, and you can, maybe try to test in another 6 hours. So that will confirm the ovulation, but, you should take some action if you're trying to conceive.
Yes.
And also at the same time, we think is even those tips are not enough. We need to provide the general, like a background knowledge in a really interesting way. So we do a lot of other contents. So we have tons of blogs. We even have an ebook just talking about TTA and TTC in general, what you should be paying attention to. And we're building those blogs into our apps as well. So it will be personalized as well. So basically, if you're in a fertile window of your cycle already, you're trying to conceive, and it will tell you more about what you should do at this period of time, what you should pay attention to. Here are some examples, some good actions too. If your hormone is very irregular, it will give you alert about, okay, maybe you should see a doctor. Your hormone looks like some some people with hormone imbalances, but it could be a temporary thing at this time, but it's better to, get checked early. And then in addition to that, we actually do a lot of webinars recently. We started this year during the COVID time because we feel like a lot of our audience now having trouble to access the fertility treatment. I know those centers, some of the centers are open, but some people don't feel comfortable to go there in person. They still have a lot of questions, so we invite the fertility coaches and some of the really good doctors in the US, in UK or so on. So we host the webinar, and in there we usually pick up a topic to talk about very commonly asked questions such as, after miscarriage, how should I get pregnant? How does stress affect fertility? And what does PCOS mean? If I have PCOS, what can I do? Things like those very commonly asked questions. And we also make sure we leave enough time for the Q&A. So those webinars are going to work as a live Q&A session to answer our customers' concerns. So in general, we really believe that testing is only part of this story. What we need to do is to give user a solution, give our woman a solution. So, you have a tool to identify what's going on with your body now, and then what you can do with that. How do you understand that easily and affordably, and also very quickly, very on time, not like you have to wait for a month to make an appointment with a doctor.
Right. I love that. Oh, such a valuable service. So thank you for providing all of that. It's amazing. So tell us where we can get Mira and where we can find you guys. Where are you on social media? What's your website? All of that.
Yeah, sure. So our website is miracare.com. So miracare.com. So you can take a look over there and you can sign up for our newsletter. We provide all this content we just mentioned for free over there. So you can get your ebook, you can get your blog, and you can get webinar announcement, and there are many other perks. You can see that on our website. And we're also on all the social media platforms. You can find us on Instagram at Mira Fertility, and also Twitter, Facebook, all at Mira Fertility.
Awesome. And those links will be under the show. So definitely everybody listening, go and follow Mira, go to their website, get a kit, test your hormones at home. I love it. So any final thoughts before we close out?
Yeah, so maybe just one last thing to add. I just, I really wish our users and, maybe women in general to hold up strong, to go through the tough COVID time. I know now a lot of families are impacted by that. I have friends, before that, I didn't really knew people who got COVID, but recently I started to have friends going through that. I know that affects our stress level. And also if you're pregnant, you got COVID, that will, add another layer of stress and hassle to that too. So, it's a really special time. Make sure you take care of yourself and your family. With all these things we're doing here, we really hope to give you some handy tools and data and, interpretations, resources to help us to go through the tough time. I think we should see the light at the end of tunnel in 2021. Oh,
I hope so.
I think we should see that, but I just wish everyone, take care of yourself.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Kayla.
Yeah. And thank you guys for listening to the Hormone P.U.Z.Z.L.E Podcast. Until next time, we'll see you guys then. Thank you. Bye. Hey, hang on just 1 second before you go. I want to make sure that you are aware of all of the amazing free resources that I have for you on my website at CoachKayla.com. From a fertility meal plan, a cycle syncing quick start guide, a holistic healing cookbook, as well as master classes, blog posts by me and some amazing experts in the fields of fertility, hormones, and nutrition. So many wonderful resources that will help you on your journey. And I wish there had been something like this when I was going through my 2 years of infertility, but there just wasn't. And so that's why I decided to create all of this for you. So make sure that you go and check it out and you take advantage of this plethora of support that I have provided for you. And spoiler alert, these were some of the same tricks and the same foods that I used to get myself pregnant, not once, but twice, even after my doctors said that I couldn't. So I know that these things work. Make sure you take advantage of that. And I cannot wait for you to be my next success story. So thanks, love. See you soon. Thanks for tuning in today to the Hormone Puzzle Podcast. Check out the show notes for today's episode at CoachKayla.com. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and leave a review. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next week.